没有走完的路不会是终点，故事的走向是自己选择的坚持。
这个故事的开头还算不错，相信过程，相信自己走过的路。
那些最激动人心的冒险，从来不是单枪匹马的挑战。
과거는 잊으세요. 내일이 새로운 시작입니다. 내 경기가 새로운 도전입니다.
我们愿意为胜利付出许多代价，改变只是其中之一。
어떤 사람이든 현재에 만족하지 않고 어떠한 사람이든 제자리 걸음을 하지 않는다.
过去的荣耀就存留在记忆中，这一抹红色要照亮未来。
为之付出的心血越多，收获的果实才越甘甜。
赛场上的事怎能尽如人意？我只想追求无愧于心。
保持微笑，胜利总会专顾你。
在尝过赢得一切的滋味之后，你绝对不会甘心做第二名。
尖矛和利刃是勇者的武器，也有最坚硬的盾和扬起风帆的大旗。
如果翻不过这座山， 他们就听不到你的故事。
这个故事的结局将由我们来谱写。为了无悔，为了胜利，为了站在世界这边。
Hello and welcome back to the League of Legends Pro League, the English broadcast, of course, because I'm speaking English. And you can see it seems like we're starting the day all over again. But do not be deceived. Do not be deceived.
Are you really speaking English though?
Do not be deceived, because this is our second series of the day, and it's our e-commerce war between Jingdong and Suning game. That's Suning on my screen, and Raz is cracking up next to me because I misspoke once. So Raz, why don't you take the rest of these look lives? This is you now.
Let's take a look at that keyboard and those eyes though. He sees the competition. It's not RNG. It's definitely Jingdong.
Oh, wait a minute.
And he has a bag of chips just in case if he needs to eat one. Throw one at the competition. That's right. Suning, ready to play Nar, going up against those crackers.
It's gonna be a cracker of a series, Raz.
We have a lot of things to look at. This is what I'm always impressed at when we come into the day, because we do see the camera crew come in quite frequently.
That's Mundo again.
Stop it!
That's what time it is. And it's time for some Rush Hour. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Richard Polscam. This is Brenna Ras Mohammed. And I'm pretty sure I'm the Chris Tucker in this relationship because I'm the funny one. And by default, that makes you Jackie Chan.
You know what? I'm fine with that. You're either funnier or you have the fighting skills, which means the next time we have an arm wrestling match, I will win.
Raz will be the winner. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the reason why people call us Rush Hour. I can't think of any other reason.
Yeah,
so it's got to be the case. But usually right about now, you'd be like, where's the standings? Where's the Well, we've already done that like 3 hours ago. So you tuned in 3 hours too late if you're looking for that. We're here to talk about this series. Jingdong versus Suning Gaming. And of course, you know, we've got to take a look at these two teams. Both doing pretty well for themselves, actually, Raz.
Surprisingly well. Remember the last split? It was Suning Gaming that was ahead of the pack. Suning Gaming bringing in, of course, a lot more hacker play, a lot more of Knight at the same time. They were the team that was destined for playoffs, and JD that was hunting and chasing them. This time around, JD's at the forefront with new players in mind. New player in the sense that it's Angel, not Knight. I know we harp on that quite frequently, but we thought it was going to be this time of, it's like, I guess it's not about the mid laners anymore. We'd look towards the top laners. Not the case. The matchup here is still Angel versus Yagao, just because it seems like both these organizations, specifically Suning, still bring in proper prospects. The rookies that they bring into the lineup, in this case, it's going to be Angel, slotting in incredibly well. So going up against Yagao, who's had a stellar split thus far, is going to be fun to watch.
Yep, homegrown talent. People who are going to be built up from the ground up, you know, instead of just bringing on a Marin and then sticking you in the roster and you're like, it's better now, right? No. build them up from the start, make sure they grow up with the team, and then they'll be better as a team. And you can see, I think that is really the story of Suning Gaming, because, you know, they came into the LPL Raz, and they were like, we're okay. We weren't as good as Dan Gaming. And then over time, they're just linear growth. And here we are right now.
Yes, and that's the thing with both of these teams, because both of the organizations, I know at the very start, turned into an e-commerce war because they're both incredible organizations. JD, Suning Gaming, of course, e-commerce background, so bringing in a lot of money into the scene. And they didn't just go out hunting for Korean talent, Korean players. In fact, started with the base, the structure to start of Coach Sim, and of course, in this case for JD, Coach Home.
Yep.
Incredibly strong coaching, and when they started picking up talent, you saw in those two cases, Angel, Yagao, exceptional players. And so it makes a lot of sense that this is the match to watch going into playoffs, because these are the likely opponents going into it.
Yeah, 100%. And also, it's Suning Day as well. I can see that Rita over there has got herself a Suning paddle. Where's our paddle, Raz?
Look, I'm just upset. I'm upset. I saw the Suning, you know, a lot of Suning advertisement. A few, what is it called again? The bear that's walking around now?
The bodysuit?
Yes,
running,
the bodysuit, the mascot. They're stacking the chips.
I know.
They're saying, this is our stadium now. We can't get a home venue,
I just strapped Raz down. He was trying to run away and get a picture with the Suning bear. Yeah, and I was like, get back here, Raz. We've got a show to be on, a show to cast.
Look, if you've seen my bed, I'm a sucker for plushies. I'm a sucker for just any animal walking around. That's why I have you here on the desk.
Ah, there you go. You know, the Chris Tucker of the desk. You know, I'm here. Get a Chris Tucker plushie. It's me. Anyway, let's take a look at how the teams are actually doing as well recently. I've got some footage to show you and see how they've been, you know, doing in the team fights, doing it in terms of the rotations as well, because we just had a team very good at team fights, but now we've got Suning Gaming and JD as well.
Suning Gaming had been a surprising one. On this patch, the early laning phase has been exceptional, and it's particularly Fury and Yoon that's been leading the charge. In their last series victory versus RNG, a spectacular finish. Their lanes smashing Uzi and Ming consistently. It's just the duo of Fury and Yoon that's been stellar thus far.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then you look at the other side, you've got Jingdong as well, Jingdong Gaming. Yagao has obviously been an absolute monster on that lineup, again, starting very strong. And also the fact he's on these assassins looking incredible. You think of Zoe when you think of Yagao, you also think of Galio, but you also think of LeBlanc now as well.
Yeah, Yagao, the Yasuo is a big one. A lot of it comes down to, for JD, their team fighting has been super exceptional. And it's not just Yagao. Zoom has been outputting a lot of damage. The damage difference between him and the enemy top laner, just because he's playing a lot more carries recently, has been night and day, like 8,000 damage difference. And it's mostly in the fact that not only is his team fighting great, but he's right now leading the pack of top laners in CS and experience difference just on this patch alone. So when it comes to facing JD, the solo laners are the players you have to watch early on.
Yeah.
And if it's going up against Suning Gaming's duo lane on the bottom side of the map have been killing it, literally killing Uzi and Ming just in the laning phase alone. And that's not even just the harp on towards the solo laners of the Suning Gaming roster, because for the majority, like all split long, we've been singing the praises of Sha'al, and he's still having great stats, but it's only apparent now that we're giving the rest of the members praise because it's been a one-man horse race in that team, and now he's really spreading the growth, spreading the wealth. The rest of the members are coming online.
Exactly, and you look towards mid lane, Angel relatively new to the roster as well, so we're still waiting for him really to see what he's actually made of, you know, over more games. But you're right, in the top lane, Xiao really being a big deal up there. Bottom lane as well, I think that Fury and you, I mean, Fury has been spectacular in this meta on Marksman, and also on the majors as well.
And the thing with, I know you want to hit on Fury and Yoon, but you made a sly statement there. Angel.
Yep, I slipped it in.
You just put it in there.
Yep.
Now, I saw Rusty's unofficial, I guess official for Rusty,
unofficial, but
his mid lane tier list, and he's fairly high. And you know what? I would agree with him. That Angel is fairly high in terms of the mid laners that of the LPL. I was surprised by it because another LDL upstart, I thought highly of Knight. Knight took some time to come into the roster and acclimate. Angel comes in about set 2, gets a pentakill, and also just brings in a lot of teamfight value, flanks that I already knew that he was going to be able to bring, but just no nervousness at all is what I was really surprised about. So I'm not saying that he's stronger than Yagao by any means, but there's a reason why this is a matchup to watch in this series, because it's going to be a real test for Angel. Looking at the Suning roster, Xiao, Hacker, Angel, Fury, and Yoon. This is the lineup that they are now very consistent now trying to roll into playoffs.
Quickly became a powerhouse. They'll be facing down Zoom in the top side with Clid in the jungle, Yagao in the mid with Loken and Lumao in the bottom lane.
And one great step, because I've been just looking at to see how JD have been performing just based off patch 8.14 alone. And a lot of it, all the signs point towards not only just Yagao and his team fight difference, but just in Zoom's early laning phase. I already mentioned how it's by far the best of the top laners, how his team fighting has been exceptional, but it's also Clid. Clid right now is #1 in terms of just outright kill participation, 86%. He's just always a part of the fight, always a part of the play really early on in the game as well. So if you're going into this set, and if you're Hacker...
We are.
Yes, we are. A lot of it's literally just about whether or not Clid is going to have a massive footprint early on in the game, because Suning Gaming has really just defined their playstyle based off the early game alone. And if you go into team fights and both teams are just at an even setting, you would expect JD to win right now. JD is, of course, the team that has the outright favorite in this series, but a lot of eyes are on Suning to have the early game, and I think Clid's going to be a major blocker in that.
Yeah, I think so too. We've also got some stats of the two teams in the last 30 days as well, so we can take a look at those and just how they've been performing recently. But no, I agree with you 100%. I mean, Clid in the jungle, you think of him being also a Lee Sin player. Lee Sin's also very, very good right now. So I feel like, you know, we could see some of that out from the jungle, another option for him out there as well. But when you just look at these two teams, relatively high stats when you compare them to the rest of the league.
Yeah, goal difference at 15 is not something like that's showcasing that they'll ramp it up later on in the game. Both teams are very successful, naturally speaking, so a lot of it means that they get their leads early. Now, the one thing I want to point out is the 51% for jungle percentage. It's just a stat that showcases that they're going to be in your jungle, challenging your camps a lot more frequently. Hacker is very well known for being an invade jungle, challenging your Raptor camp, and Clid is the type that if he's not on Sejuani, sometimes he's on Sejuani, then he's looking to do the exact same thing. So Hacker and Clid is a matchup, and even though we're going through a lot of matchup, we have a lot of talented players in both of these rosters, and if they can get their way, then they will just only be in your jungle from like minute 1 to minute 30.
Yep.
So I think just naturally as a jungler, I expect a lot of fire to happen.
They can. I'm currently dying from allergies, by the way.
This happened yesterday too.
Yeah.
You were literally just like trying to cover your nose at all times.
Yeah,
the
I was trying to be
was
subtle about
it.
it. I was going to tell you straight, I'm dying from allergies right now. I saw PYL earlier. He had one of the, I think the allergy was sticking up his nose. I need one of those. That's what I need. So, again,
you know
absolutely murdered in Shanghai.
You know my official response to this is?
What's that?
Nerd.
Yeah. I will say one of the reasons why I stayed inside so much as a kid was because of all the allergies, to be fair. But if you're an allergy sufferer out there, Shanghai or wherever you are in the world, because I know in the Northern Hemisphere, it's just summer right now, I feel you. I feel you on a spiritual level. But again, back to this matchup. You're definitely right. These two teams, I mean, you can see the crowd support here as well. And I know that some of them are probably here for the coupons, because this is the e-commerce war. So I know out front they always give nice things for JD and for Suning. But a lot of people here just because people like teams that win. And JD have been winning a lot recently.
They've been winning. We start to have more player recognition, which has been a problem with both of these teams. Remember, upstart organizations bringing up upstart talent from the LDL. So for a lot of these players, there were real question marks. And for old veterans like Lumao, didn't really have any fans for the most part. So you can just see with the victories that have been on JD and Suning Gaming's lap, the players are starting to follow. You see a Zoom poster. You didn't see that when he first came in.
Nope.
So he's been really making a name.
Yeah, he's yeah, definitely. And you know, it's kind of been happening for a while as well, you know, Zoom getting solo kills on the likes of the Shy as well in the top lane. So it's been a long time coming. Let's get into champion leg. Suning Gaming will take away the Cringer Chalia and the Tam Kench for a first pick of the Shen. And JD will ban away the Swain, Trundle and Aatrox. And look towards their bottom lane. It's going to be a first pick Xayah.
And it likely is to be a Rakan to follow, because if you're JD, you're not going to pick a Xayah alone. That's just suicidal. Saying that we're going to go the Uzi lifestyle, get pushed in repeatedly, not have pressure bottom lane. So they're saying that we're going to match Fury and Yoon's mage or kill lane, but we're going to have some pressure ourselves. That being said, they're not picking it up immediately. Now, Suning could just pick the Shen for the top lane and go Rakan early. Rakan is still a phenomenal pick alone, and it would be a good takeaway from JD.
Yeah, he's an independent gentleman.
Hell yes, he is.
He can play by himself. Typically, you don't see a lot of Xayah by herself. So there's now a potential for Suning Gaming, as you just said, to take that one away. Camille will be the priority right here for JD. He wants to make sure that didn't go to Suning in any capacity. But it will be a priority it looks like on their top lane, it will be a Gnar coming in for Xiao Ao.
And that just confirms that it's going to be a Shen in the support position. Just means that, and ordinarily, especially on blue side, you don't want to tell the enemy team where your laners are going, but there's so much confidence in Xiao Ao that he can pick up the Gnar for himself, and that Zoom will not get much of an advantage just based off the champion, the counter matchup. Now, there are historically a lot of counter matchups. We saw a Yasuo hover. Of course, Yagao can play it, but I'm just saying if Zoom picks up a Yasuo for himself, or just a Kennen, then Xiao will not have a good laning phase.
Yep. It would make sense. Yagao shares 3 out of the 5 letters with Yasuo, so a lot of synergy there. Also, we'll lock in the Rise in the end, though. So that will be the pick for him. Now, Ari is the one who came up while we were talking. I'm expecting that will probably go down to Fury. You know, Chocho was the first one to bring it out in the LPL. Since then, we've had another pick, and now another pick over to Sune.
And just based off the earlier footage that we showed you, there was just a solo kill on towards main when it was Suning Gaming going up against him. It was the Ari-Alistar combination. Headbutt Pulverize into the Charm. This works very similarly where you can get the taunt across, a flash taunt even, and then it's enough of a timer where you can throw the Charm and get a kill on towards either the Xayah or whatever support they end up running with the pick in the bottom lane. So naturally won't be Rakan that gets banned out. I want to see what Lumao is willing to play. I think it's going to be a Pyke pick, but he's going to have to worry because if it's Pyke, fairly squishy in the lane, and it's something you can really pick out.
Squishy and also melee range. So will be a prime target to be Charm taunted. Alistar back going through from JD as well, making it difficult. This would be spicy.
I never call out the games where Lumao can play Leona because he is a Leona player. And I just never want to play it. I never really want to expect or advocate Leona play. But he always proves me wrong. He's going to lock it in here today and he's going to just go, you know what? I will match your kill lane.
Yep.
With a kill of my own.
Yep. I like it. I mean, maybe the plan was never to play the Rakan at all. Maybe it was always meant to be the Leona. You know, I think of another big Leona in the LPL would be Ming. You know, definitely a big player down there. I think of the Leona Nocturne compositions they like to play, but yeah, this is going to be real fun in the bottom lane. So, fighting fire with fire.
And let me tell you something about an Ari pick.
Oh, tell me.
Ari hates Leona.
Why
the dashes. There are so many, like the E from Leona stuns you a little bit.
Yep.
The Q, of course, to follow up.
Yep.
Ultimate. There are so many ways for Leona to just say, stop it. Stop, you're not going anywhere. And then the follow-up is the CC lock chain from the 3 feathers from Xayah. It's a real kill combination up against an Ari that doesn't have a lot of damage up until the point she has a Luden's Echo. So if I'm JD, they should feel confident going into this saying that our duo lane's looking a little better.
I know from my days of playing Leona mid lane into Ari, another nice thing is that when you E, you go, nothing personnel, kid, and you teleport behind her, and she tries to charm you, and you're like, and then you stun her, and then you kill her. So that's another thing. Just in terms of mechanics, she'll wreck you. That's a Sejuani pickup for Hacker. There's going to be a Yasuo pickup as well. Huh? What is that champion? I haven't seen you in years. It's a Maokai.
You just tells you the kind of meta it is when I'm more surprised about the Maokai than the Yasuo pick. So I'm just like, Yasuo, take away from Yagao. So people should know that Yagao is a phenomenal Yasuo player. Angel hasn't showed too much on it, but he's just saying, pick it from me. I'm confident as is. I can go into this matchup that is, by the way, pretty damn difficult for the Yasuo. And then you start saying that, well, what are you going to pick? JD just says, well, I'm going to try and lock you guys down. Yasuo and Ari, guess what? Meet the Maokai stun. So we're just going to have to see if Maokai can handle early laning phase versus a Gnar. Gnar should feel happy about it. Good split push pressure is ordinarily building Blade of the Rune King. He should have fleet footwork, all that nonsense to split you up. But the goal for JD is all the same. Run you down, Leona Maokai, get that fight across. Look at the grimace.
That is definitely a barky grimace, I guess you would say.
I hate the fact that you just said that. I don't like that at all.
Well, there you have it. It's out on air now. Can't be taken back. We facing down Gnar. Not a great matchup for the old Maokai.
Yeah, there's some points we can make a mention that the gank potential is definitely there. A lot of CC for the Maokai. Early damage, I would say, is actually in favor of Maokai because he's going to go for the, is it sudden impact? The one that's just the, I forget what it's called, the 70 resistances that you get.
I like that Raz, while I'm sneezing, is like, hey, Pulse, what's that thing called?
I've timed your sneezing. I've timed it. I knew you were going to have your headset back on by the time I dropped it to you.
Fair. You're asking for the thing where you jump in and it gives you extra lethality and...
No. Just the CC. You lock them down, you have free 70 resistances in the resolve tree.
Aftershock.
There we go. I always get those two. Yeah, I always get those two mixed up. So if you're ever in a solo queue game with me and I say, no, I have sudden impact, that doesn't mean what you think it is.
No.
So yeah, Aftershock. Has Aftershock, free resistance you got, base damage that you have across, because Maokai, funnily enough, has good base damages. So it's only once you get Phage, or at least the components for that, or just levels, I'd say level 5, where a Gnar could actually just kind of, be reliably pushing in and trading in the matchup. But by then, the first gank is what's important. And so a lot of eyes are on Xiao if he can weather that storm.
Oh yeah, 100%. But that's the beauty of Aftershock. Makes a lot of matchups just slightly better for you, as long as you can get on top of them,
The two runes, or at least the keystones that I absolutely dislike, Aftershock and Electrocute, because you never know what the trade is going to be until it's actually over.
Yeah.
Electrocute, if you're a Zoe and you have Electrocute, all you have to do is press Ignite, and you have your W, so the more sparkles happens, an auto attack. You might miss your Q, but it doesn't matter. Electrocute is procced. You did more damage.
Can't miss those, yeah.
It's upsetting.
It really is. Because you're like, she missed everything, but she still killed me. This isn't okay. You're meant to be a skill shot champion. Alright, folks, let's get on to the rest. Suning Gaming versus Jing Dong. It's going to be the e-commerce wars, and I sense a yell in the future. We'll see if it happens. I think that Suning missed the chant there.
It was definitely one less chant. Everyone was surprised by it. JD took advantage of it. Went in there.
He slipped in there, man. He was like... I'm surprised he didn't go for 4. He was like, we have 6 to share.
You could have done it. You could have done it. Remember, you get into a situation in the chants where if someone drops the ball, usually someone else in that same camp picks it up, so you just hear it a second voice. Didn't happen this time. Everyone was slightly surprised.
Yes, they were. Alright, we're going to have JD starting on top side here. And Suning starting on bottom.
So one thing that I would make a point of, because I said that Fleet Footwork was the expected point for Xiao, actually goes towards an airy proc. So it's just going to be a little bit more damage within the lane. Means that he can actually stay within our arm's reach, just throwing Qs, and he's still going to get the extra damage across. So loses out in the attack speed that you get in your precision tree, but gets a little bit in terms of just the range of throwing Qs. So we're going to have to see if it ends up giving him a little bit more range to be respectful when he actually starts pushing out. You can already see, even though the camera's on the bottom side of the map, that he's not just hard shoving the lane. You have to respect Camille's early pathing, or level 2 is just a bit too devastating to disrespect.
Ah. Bummer. Bit of a killjoy. Gonna come out here with a quick pause.
Look, I was hyping it up. Now it's just
I know.
You have to go on to episode 2 now. Cliffhangers happen. You're just gonna have to find out where's the Camille going to go. Bot lane, mid lane, top lane, because you know she's annoying and she's gonna gank.
Find out next time on episode 2 of the e-commerce wars. Was that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yes, it was.
Incredible.
I had 2 options, either that or Dragon Ball Z, but I actually forgot that one.
I think that the one that's more appropriate is JoJo's.
Yep.
To be honest.
That's
usually you run, yeah, and then you run it before Disaster. So do you think that Disaster is going to strike here today, Raz?
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, I set up that Camille thing pretty well. I think it would be more surprising if Camille actually farmed for level 3.
Yeah.
Because she is actually super bad at getting that farming game done. I understand she's going up against a Sejuani who's not that much better, but Sejuani can clear AoE camps, so she can go towards the Krugs, the Raptor camp. Camille gets absolutely bitten. She's going to be coming out with multiple chicken bites, because after she's done Raptor camp, she's like, well, I guess I can't really gank level 3. So it's one of those points where you have to track down what a Camille is looking to do, and you really do want to see her going either mid lane or top lane.
If you come out from the farm and then you've been pecked by a bunch of chickens, would you call it a chicken bite? Or what would you call that wound?
Chicken pecks.
Chicken pecks.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really roll off the top. I don't know if anyone would say that.
I'd say chicken bite.
Yeah, chicken bite. I think so too. It just sounds weird because they don't have teeth.
That would be, I was just thinking about it, and you know how good this world would be if chickens had teeth.
pretty horrific.
Yeah. That would make Google Images a lot better.
I tell you what, they wouldn't be domesticated for certain. They would probably rule the world.
I don't think there's such thing as a domesticated chicken. Just putting that out there. I could be wrong.
This is domesticated almost every type of animal, to be honest. You know, people own tigers, they own bears, they own foxes.
I'm just putting this
I'm
out
sure
there.
Someone has a pet chicken.
People don't go out of their way to buy a chicken, to own that chicken. Maybe if you're a farmer, you just have a few chickens. And you're like, this one's named Bob.
Yep.
It's with me now.
Yeah.
That's fair enough, but chicken market doesn't take kindly to someone who buys it without, you know, making use of its body parts. I'm just putting that out there.
That's fair, no. And also, you know, from living in China, I will say that I like the fact that the cuisine in general uses every part of the chicken. I've become a big fan of chicken cartilage while over in China.
I will say though, it's kind of creepy. I remember I just came back from Beijing.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And one of the biggest cuisines that they had was literally just a full duck. The only worrying fact was the fact that there were so many statues of cute ducks in the store.
Oh no.
That I was just looking at a very cute duck with an umbrella that was holding while eating a duck. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, that's my issue too when they do that. Oh, have Sejuani moving into Tribush, but probably just going to go back to base. Doesn't really feel the gank right now. But also nice to be here just in case that that Lumao decides to jump in on them.
This is a good counter gank though. Look at the wards of Camille. Still level 2, but here we at it.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of damage already onto Leona, even though she's got the Aftershock. Jumps towards the Sejuani trying to get out of this one. Will be able to do so. The teleport is cancelled from JD. And as you said, Klid also came down. So Lumao is not going to die, though he did sustain heavy injuries.
Just took a long time for Klid to walk over. So, of course, no boots this early on. He tried. He really did. He had a good idea that this was likely going to happen. In fact, it's either that or he was setting up for a gank of his own, seeing if Leona could find a pick. This would be a very early dive, but they're setting up for it.
Yeah, Yagao's on his way. He doesn't have round warp because, well, he's level 4. Klid is waiting in the wings right here, and Fury, he's about to see this. What a setup coming in from Loken. Heck yeah, bring up the emotes, because that was sick.
Mass emotes, and I could not believe that the third feather was actually placed. Now, Ari would ordinarily, anyone would take note of that, get away from that. But in this situation, there was actually so much to worry about. He was completely getting surrounded. So just focusing on the details wasn't happening for Fury. There's way too much for him to focus on. So for the third feather to stack right behind him, devastating.
I mean, who really thinks of a Xayah setup in that situation?
Nobody.
You were waiting for the Sejuani, the Camille or the Leona, anything else but the Xayah.
Is the last person you look towards because she's not the one who's going to be tanking the turret. But apparently she was at the width in which the tower didn't hit her, but she was able to set up the extra feather. So really well done from Loken. Made it so much easier to get the dive across. Otherwise it was going to be messy. Someone was going to use their flash, but in this case didn't happen.
Unbelievable stuff. So JD will strike first with first blood in this series. No, it's Suning Day, but currently it's definitely going the way of JD. Now, got absolutely bodied as he walked up to the minions, though he does have an extra health potion in tow, and he's also got Relic Shield, so he will be okay. And take a look at the runes there from Ari. Will be Domination first, taking Electrocute, and then going for Gathering Storm in Sorcery.
Now, I'm going to make an obvious point about Ari.
Okay.
Since changing from last season to this season from rune pages, she has lost a lot of value because of how much AP she can get in her runes. So back in the day, you can just run AP or flat penetration. Just like you can run what you want in your rune page. And actually Thunderlords itself had such a lower cooldown that it was more reliable to get Ari damage, as Ari damage is coming across.
Well, that's going to be Mao jumping in there once again, but now he's going to have to walk it back against a ranged champion. He's going to take a lot of damage from this one. Fury's going to have another spell up in a hot second, but yeah. Gonna walk it back to his tower, so looking for those engagers, but not coming out the strong end of that one. So I feel like JD probably gonna go to base here.
But expect a lot more. The only reason why it was a little bit difficult this time around is because Loken himself didn't base, so he has a kill. He wants a BF sword. That's what he's looking for to make the matchup that much harder. But to my point earlier on about how Ari's a little bit harder to play in the early laning phase because of her lacking damage based off the rune page alone, Electrocute procs are massive. But so few and so far in between is the difficult part about it. So then it makes it so if you do fall behind, in this case has happened, it's so much more devastating. So you're going to have to see if they're going to take advantage of this.
Oh, double taunt coming through from Yoon, and that will secure the kill right there. A little bit too easy, predicting the Duke on there on the back end onto Loken, but still, nice 2 versus 2 kill.
great management of the waves from Fury and Yoon. Both of them recognized that Loken and Mao were trying to base. Took some time, and then they're, you know, like, yeah, okay, well, they're staying on the map for a little bit longer. If they can look for a setup, they got it. Yoon got a double taunt. Great play so far. This duo has been exceptional this split. Last split, I feel like since coming into the LPL, they've only gotten better, and they were already setting up a pretty high bar.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, to be honest, that bar keeps on going up and up and up, you know, to the point where all their opponents are continuing to play Limbo. Because they're only just getting better.
Yeah, getting better, and the meta has really helped them out. They're a strategic bottom lane. They actually aspire to like strategy a lot more than the others, because if you think about what they play more often, it's like Ashe and Tom Kench, who's what you'd say that they're great at. It's because of the setup that they have going from one play to the next. And now you just said, hey, you can play CC bottom lanes, mage bottom lanes, these bruiser bots. So they're like, sure, we'll play kill lanes a lot more frequently. We'll play Shen support, even though Shen support's not that revolutionary. Ahri bottom lane is what they started out with. So for them, coming out with these different bottom lanes that favor the meta is what they would have wanted.
Now we put a big focus as well onto the solo lanes of JD. So far, Zoom is getting absolutely bodied topside by that Gnar. The first couple levels, as you said, are okay for the Maokai, but post that, it's all Gnar, baby. And he's definitely made the advantage from that.
I was a little bit surprised when Clay decided to put his focus on the bottom lane. Yeah, that it was probably the safest lane for his team, and not mid and top. Mid for the most gank setup. Up against the Yasuo, sure he has cleanse, but then you can blow his cleanse. Or top lane, that's literally just CC on CC on CC versus a mini Gnar that's going to push. Shadow expected it. Angel helped, he expected it. That's the only reason why Ryze got the shove and was able to come bottom lane so early. They were just surprised that Clid was just going and aiming for the bottom lane.
Yep. Clid waiting in the brush right here. Go on, Yoon. Take one step forwards. See what happens.
Yeah, you see nothing.
Oh! The flash forwards, he actually went onto the AD carry, and instead it's an Ahri. That's going to be an instant kill to Loken.
I love the basic things. I love the small touch. He did it in the middle of a wave and didn't mess it up by hitting a minion. I'm just putting that out there, all right? But Flash, so much confidence, and this could be a dive as well. I understand it's difficult to dive a Shen. Wait a minute.
I think they might just do it anyway, to be honest, but that's going to be ultimate coming through. Dodge out from Clid with the ultimatum, but Mao is still walking away. Teleport comes down and he goes golden in the middle of three people. That's a lot of damage coming in from the Yasuo actually. Clid turning this one around though. Yagao following through. I said Yasuo, I mean Ryze, because it's Yagao coming through once again with a round wall coming in with two. But here comes the Ahri back from base. They must have known this was going to happen. But Clid, he goes golden as well. Yagao, he wants to get behind the minions. But the minions are saying, get down, Mr. President.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't even know he's level 6.
I can't believe he got level 6, going to come forwards. Had the flash, was thinking about it, but didn't go onto Yagao right there because the rest of the team was right behind him. And that will just be, I think, just a one kill in the end.
And I think that was necessary for the ulti to come down. Otherwise, that's a tower that's going down. Or at least the wave is going to be that much more of a loss for the Ahri. So doubling down so they get some control down there. But goddamn, what happened? That was insane to see for JD to commit so heavily while Suning was on the run coming down to save the play. So well done from Suning initially to come down and defend the Shen. Because we already saw the first 10 minutes of this game. The Shen was going to get dived in the process of doing so. So this coming in, protecting him. Even the teleport that was being channeled but ultimately just cancelled in the top side. So that one's incredibly important. Because the top lane scuffle was happening. I was wondering how that was cancelled. No help for the rest of the Suning here. So you got to see that happen.
Yeah, and it was a prolonged trade from there on out. Felt bad for Yagao because all he wanted was to get behind the minions so he could actually fire out an overload and get another kill, but didn't happen. And then the Shen was there as well, also managed to ding 6. So it all worked out in the end for Suning, managing to defuse that very long gank coming in from JD.
But now the situation is a little bit worse here for Suning because while they came in to counteract the play, JD came out of it just fine. And the result is the same. Ahri is that much farther behind, 0, 2, and 1. Still behind in CS, well, I guess with that minion a little bit in the lead. Issue here is that BF Sword, double dagger, and the moment she completes the Storm Razors, it's so much harder for Fury to actually deal with that. He's going to be using his ultimate far more defensively throughout the game, so I wonder how Suning Gaming are going to be responding to the fact this tower is going down in about the next few minutes.
Oh, that's going to be another setup from Loken with the Blade Caller. Once again, finds the Charmer. Mal locked underneath this tower. It's going to be the turnaround damage, though. Last tower shot, not going to be enough. His Clid is coming down into the Tri-Brush. Loken backing up now because Hacker is on his way. He's searching for a target, someone to put in the ice cage, but no one is around.
That was just a good replay from Yoon, actually putting down the field so there's no follow-up damage from Desire. So just protecting your Ahri at all times, getting bullied, but no bullying here.
It's no bully zone, right? It's bullying here in the LPL.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm going to bully Fury. He just missed a cannon minion that was very easy to pick up in front of his tower.
I thought you were trying to be the anti-bullying
I was, but I watched him miss a cannon that he could have gotten, so
yeah, natural.
Unlucky. Yeah, again, shoutouts to my buddy Topside Zoom. He's now 40 CS down. This is a feels bad man for the old Maokai, which was last pick, by the way, into another hero he knew was there. And I feel bad because he hasn't known a jungler. He hasn't known an allied jungler. He's been bot side this entire game.
That's one of those things.
He's still bot side.
Yeah, I was expecting how both these teams were going to play it out because priority happens top lane so heavily in the recent games for both Xiao L and Zoom. And Zoom's saying that he's actually going to play for the team. So they've recognized that team fighting is so much more important for them. And it's Zoom who has to take it for the team. So at least he's not losing too much. Even using his ultimate just to back him on up. Get out of here.
He's just trying to clear the wave, man, at this point. Like, the tower's very low. In fact, Xiao Ao almost taking the tower by himself in top side. Of course, that will be first tower of the game going to JD, and Suning Gaming, because they have Nav in top winning, they take a very easy Herald here. They'll be able to turn that into hopefully something more. Lumao on his way with Yagao. Ward over the wall. It's already gone, folks.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
One thing you take note of is that Sejuani is probably the fastest clear as a tank on these massive objectives.
Oh, yeah.
Because of her E just constantly procs on it. So you just don't know the timing on the new set.
It's a lot of damage, yeah. Really good at contesting crabs, really good at contesting Herald.
Yep.
It's just a really frustrating thing when you're just facing Sejuani. It's just one of those things that she has. Because it's basically just a one-shot. In the end, JD will rotate their duo lane to the top lane. And will send Zoom into the bottom lane. And he's like, finally, a respite from Gnar. And Gnar's on his way to the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is really tough for Suning Gaming. At the very least, you can see what Yoon's doing here, holding the wave. Makes it easier for them to farm it up a little bit. Ahri shouldn't be using her Q there, but just take a look at it. Stormrazers even has the Berserker's Greaves, going up against Fury that just doesn't even finish his first item now. So at least the movement speed is there from the magic penetration boots, but at this moment is not going to be able to contest in damage at all. So you're in a weird position where JD are just going to continue on, pedal to the metal. Suning Gaming just has to play super defensively, hopefully get at least one pick. Shen's been doing a great job so far. So Shen, it's all on you, Yoon. I have faith. Fight the system.
If there's anyone you're going to put faith into, I would say Yoon is a good one. I would definitely give him my money and send him to the bank with my rent. Clid, it's also an LO. But he's really just opening up space for his duo lane to take the tower pretty much by themselves. I heard a Herald go off.
Yeah, bottom lane.
Bottom lane. Shelly's going to have a crack at this one.
The annoying part about this one is that it's just going to be leading towards the inner tower as well. So
yep.
JD are going to have to play this one out. They didn't push the bottom lane out, top lane out completely. So it can be frozen just a little bit. You can see it's already being done by Ahri and Shen. So it's actually just Suning Gaming taking full control of the waves that they have. Before they were completely defensively, but now they have the priority based off that one Rift Herald push.
Feels good for them, but still 1-2 in terms of towers, so JD have a nice little bit of extra gold to them, and I feel like a lot of their gold is centered actually on Loken. He currently has his Stormrazers and also has an extra attack speed item in the Zeal, and also the dagger on top of that, so he's in a pretty nice place for himself.
And I would say for him to get a rapid fire cannon, that's the most important one. If you finish your first Zeal item, then you get the full damage out of your Stormrazers. It's fully scaled up on that one, because you only just need the 30% attack speed, or crit, I mean. So once he gets that for himself, you're great. You have the extra range there. You don't have to worry too much about the Ahri coming at you. Same, you could probably say for the Sejuani. There's a lot more that you can react to just based off of when you're walking up and you have that first auto attack. So there's more for him to, I guess, be confident in moving up against the mid lane towers. So there's that you can look towards for JD. For Suning Gaming, it seems like he's aware. Child knows. Spider sense is a tingling.
Somewhere in my jungle is JD.
He's definitely the daredevil. He's closing. He has closing his eyes like, oh my goodness. But he's definitely he definitely is aware that someone is in the vicinity. He can feel it. Can't say who it is. He's getting out of there
when he dons the suit.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess he is a bit like Daredevil, isn't he? You know, he gets angry and he transforms, and he goes red.
Oh my God, you're right.
He's got a red suit. Daredevil doesn't get bigger, I guess, so the analogy breaks down a little bit, but they're pretty similar. He doesn't use a boomerang.
Metaphorically speaking,
but apart from that, metaphorically, you know, they're
Yeah.
identical.
He's a monster.
Yeah, who's Kingpin? Man. Usually I'd say Zoom, you know, he's the guy who'll meet you in the 1 versus 1 and wreck you. Uh-oh.
Look, I was trying to say he had the reaction time, and he needs it. Get this man a rapid-fire cannon so he could have that
never
much
be
of
in
a
range
reaction
for the
buffer.
charm in the first place.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we have it.
He's fine. He's fine. Cleared also access into the enemy jungle. Shout out. He knew it. He knew someone was there all this time.
That's a safe assertion to make when you're both these teams and you recognize you're going up against Clid or you're going up against Hacker. In this case, it's Clid with the aggressive jungle pick as the warrior, so he's willing to fight. So at this point, JD can look towards getting those red buff steals a lot more frequently.
100%. And I think that Clid, this meta really does suit him. You know, there's a lot of different junglers you can play that are aggressive. Suits him down to a T. Always just be in there, getting objectives for the team. And now soon in gaming, we're looking at a potential setup, a round dragon. Oh, here come the cats. Watch out, Suning.
Oh no!
Here they come. Oh, they're going to get the instant pick there onto Mao. Loken turns around. That's a great blade caller. The dodge out of Angel's aggression as well. A sick coming out from Loken, but now he's flashless.
This is when you should feel worried, though. The fact that Lumao was able to get slaughtered on that rotation alone. In fact, Fury being able to just burst him down that easily, then you just know that you can't really trust your front to back just yet. It isn't there. Leona can't handle it. Oh no.
The wrong place and the wrong time. Gets caught in a very dark alley with 4 members of Suning. And they shank him to death.
Yeah, the typical Suning shanking. But the vision control is what's actually there for him. So you have the pick potential, and Ari's becoming very useful.
Just barely dodging out of that one, but still gets knocked off the back of that one. We'll back away, but he's still dead. Lumao comes forwards, and Loken, he can't really output the damage here because he's just blown up on the spot. That's a double kill coming in for the Ari right there. Zoom, now he's getting involved into the fight, but again, the knockups come through from Angel. My God, that is an ace, and that is a quadra.
That is so uncharacteristic of JD, that they can just be running in one after another when they already know that Lumao wasn't going to be there for a little bit. Yagao got caught off, so why are you trying to defend the tower? Head on back to the second one. But that being said, you got to give Suning their dues. That was so well played in terms of tower aggro. They stayed on it. They got the members while they were moving. And if the one member, if we get a replay, Hacker himself, low HP because 100% of that damage is on the tower. So take a look at this. He recognized that he has to be the one that starts on tower aggro. He starts tanking it and then moves at a respectable area actually for quite some time and lets the rest of his team do the work. He knows that they have the damage, and all he needs to do is move in, move out. No wasted movement. Fury even took just 2 tower shots before he came right back to land in the next rotation of his skills.
I mean, exceptionally played by everybody right there in that pressure scenario. I mean, the knockups were perfect for Angel. Every single time he lands a knockup, it turns into a kill. Fury on point, gets the quadra in the end. And that was a quadra well earned as well. I see a lot of quadras nowadays and I'm like, well, they just last hit him. That was all set up by the team, by him included. Suning Gaming coming out with 5 kills, tower in the mid lane, second tower in the mid lane. Massive swing in terms of gold. Slingshots them 4,000 gold ahead of JD.
Incredible. And that was just them 110% putting in the work and recognizing their windows. Because JD, they're going to look back at this, whether they win or not, and try and figure out how did they lose this with how much control they had early on in the game, how much gold they had in towards Loken. And a lot of it is just based off the random wars that they would have to catch out members. One was Lumao, second one was Yagao. And then they were able to pick one after another and recognize what they could do with that kind of window. So it's ridiculous to see that and be like, they actually just got a full goal lead. 4 kills on towards a starving Ahri off one mistake alone.
Not starving anymore, Raz.
Yeah, there we go. She's well fed.
Yep. Had a feast in middle lane.
A true pot belly, that one.
Yep. Feeling very good about that. And it's also completed first item out from the mid lane of Angel, plus a BS. Top lane feeling very good.
She has a Banshee's Veil.
She has 2 items, Raz.
She was nowhere near that
I
last
know.
time. And now she's stacked.
But let's think about it. 1,200 gold at the very least, outside of like shutdown bonuses, coming from the quadra kill. 2 towers also being in close proximity. So you're looking at 1,600, 1,700 gold off of that play.
This is the type of revisionist history you have to watch out for, because Fury going into this game, or at least coming out of it, it's like everything is spectacular. Don't even worry about it, Mom. I actually had this game from start to finish, blasting the opponents. You take a look at least the first 10 minutes and you're like, I don't know how this happened.
No.
You lied to me, but what actually happened this game?
I only see 12 minutes played, actually, in this game.
Yep.
It's all been sooning. It's all been coming up sooning. 4 towers to 2. Pushing up the top side, moving through the jungle. This top jungle was entirely theirs. Actually, just take a look at the vision control from JD. What vision control? They have like a ward top side in the pixel brush. They have 2 in the bottom, but the top side is lit up by Sune.
It's just a great example of how to use your wards defensively to get yourself back into the game. And now that they literally just have a full tank of gas, they went to that gas station, filled it up with premium, and they're now just throwing their wards everywhere topside, saying that you can't touch Baron 23 minutes into the game.
Yep.
You can't touch your own jungle, so you can move to Baron. They're pretty damn safe. I mean, they have a Yasuo, so this composition can rush the Baron buff, but they're playing with their food at this point.
They really are going to get themselves a dragon, first one of the game actually, over towards them, and it will be a mountain dragon to follow up. And it will go back to base to spend even more gold. I reckon that Yasuo is probably sitting on a fair chunk of change.
There we go.
Yep, there you go. It's going to be a straight buy into the Guardian Angel here for him, which is going to be... And he bought a pickaxe. Yeah, he actually had a lot of gold.
And the worrying... Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, they found Clid. What? So much damage! That's just from an Ahri.
No comment. She just does too much damage at this point. And look at the items that Clid has. Literally, well, now he purchased the Phage, but that HP didn't exist beforehand. Warriors and just the...
Merc Treads?
No, it's the Gnasher's Tooth recipe.
Stinger?
Stinger.
Yeah.
Got the Stinger.
I should have led with Bilbo's sword. And then had you figure out the rest.
The slashings, the wand. Anyways, they're going to have to do something about this. Suning have full control of this area.
You do. Mao over the wall. But they don't really know what's going on. Well, they know what's going on, but they don't know how low the Baron is. It's down to 5,000 HP, but Suning, you can see they're just keeping around here, making sure the steal doesn't come free, because really, what they're looking for is the fight. The cat's coming forward.
He's
but
surrounded.
It is a zoning cat wall. Ah! Oh, Xiao, he's got the Shen on top of him because he wants to lock down Lumao, but he's already got the lockdown because he has the Frozen Mallet. And now it's just caught out.
Well, that's a real, I mean, he's doing well for himself. So this early on, you've just lost your main point of engage. JDG do not have their added vision control.
Oh boy.
My goodness, Loken might be next.
He's going to be okay in the end, but he was very close to a Xiao Ao's angry Nah. And in the end, he will be okay. But Suning Gaming with the pick may actually just turn back towards the wave and turn back towards the Baron.
Right now, Suning Gaming should just go Baron. They're at a point where JD do respect their pick potential. Run a Baron, start hitting the damn thing. There's no way Lu Mao will be a part of it, and Loken doesn't have his ulti.
Huh? Where are they, says Zoom? But really, they've moved out of vision once again. Xiao Ao tags Zoom with the boomerang. And Suning Gaming, they did not move towards the Baron. Top lane is pushing. Mid wave is now pushing. And it looks like a recall is on the card. So we're going to reset once more. JD, yeah, they saw the... no, I'm not going to give him a free recall.
But here we go. And I want to talk about Yasuo a little bit because the next item he wants to go for is Sterix Gauge. A lot of people will look at that and be like, wait a minute. My solo queue games, I go straight towards the IE. Crit, crit, crit. There we go. I mean, yeah, sure, you can go 100% crit, or you can just be unkillable. Phantom Dancer already has that damage mitigation. Then you go towards GA, you know, suddenly you can just press your ulti and not fear God. Then you go, and of course, Sterix Gauge, and it's such a low cooldown on it. It's like about 40 seconds, where get one team fight, you have GA, Sterix Gauge, they're not going to kill you. You do quite a bit of damage, and then if you lose it, or at least just used your, you don't win the fight, your Sterix gauge is off, come back in the next fight, it'll be up. So it's a great build, and then you can follow it up afterwards with the IE because there's so much value across in that one. But just makes it so you're so much safer and harder to deal with in team fights. There are so many threats right now from Suning Gaming's core that they can't afford to now focus Angel because he's going to be chunking up a lot of damage and he has a GA to keep him safe.
And that's the other thing. It's surprising actually how much AD you get from both the GA and the Sterix by themselves, because they're actually pretty hefty in terms of the AD that you get. And plus he's already got a crit item, so it's not like the Astro's not going to hurt, because he's almost got 200 AD for himself and he's tanky.
I feel like the past few, I would say 1 year. Maybe a few splits.
Past few 1 year.
Get out of here.
That's going to be a nice setup coming in for Angel once again. Look at the damage coming through, and the Ari throws everything, misses everything, and Yagao actually might walk away. No, he is not. He is hit by yet another Steel Tornado.
Yeah, too many people. That means that Yagao's down 40 seconds. That's a pretty hefty cooldown, or at least a death timer. Where now Suning Gaming can just move back towards Baron. I think that they're trying to play too cutesy with their pick composition. And remember, Maokai is with them at all times, so they do have just a free sapling to throw in to see if they're in a bush. So I think Suning Gaming got a lot out of their early picks, but now are slowing the game down when they should try and accelerate a little bit faster.
Yeah, they got this one pick, so we'll probably see this turned into a tower absolutely in the top side, but it's not real lasting damage that we're trying to see them do. You know, a Baron would be big for them. Taking something like an inhibitor tower would be fantastic, but it just seems like flesh wounds right now that they're dealing.
And there are so many members that can come in flanks around. Like Ari can be in a weird position, so if JD try and contest the Baron, come in with a charm at a flank position. Excellent. Can't catch her either. And you can do the same thing with Shen, Gnar, and perhaps even Yasuo. So there are so many ways you can play this out. JD's actually flanked to this. This is actually a pretty cute position. They can get this fight.
And now this is actually going to work out for Suning because they've managed to draw the victim all the way into the jungle. This is going to be a quick kill onto Mao. Zoom backing up as well, and that teleport, yeah, you better cancel it. Lokim just behind him if they choose to push forward. Shout out, flash forwards into the ultimate. You know, Lokim's going to quickly pop the Feather Storm.
That was super quick, actually. I'm surprised. Did he not get knocked in? He used his cleanse, so cleanse immediately into his own ulti. Yeah. Really well done, because otherwise, that is a free kill there.
Oh, Zoom, why would you do that, buddy? Walks into the jungle once again, and you know that they've been spending the last 10 minutes trapping up the jungle. Zoom, he's very tanky, though. He'll give them the Bramble Smash. He won't go quietly, but he will go down.
All right, they're actually going straight for the tower. Funny enough, JD were so secure, or at least so aware, that that kill meant Baron, that they lose so much of their own base. Take a look at Clid now, basing from the mid lane. Now, same with Yagao. They're losing so much for free off this.
Yeah, Yagao knows they're not going to try and finish off this, so he's actually going to take a tower in return with this piddly little minion wave. But it will just be an outer tower. Nice for them, but not going to be turning the game anytime soon. And Suning Gaming, it feels like they get rewarded for making the same play 6 times in a row.
Yeah. What can you do? I think they were changing up the bushes that they were stacking on so frequently that it was really on JD to make their right sapling call. Because you only get one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Honestly, at this point, Suning Gaming can clear out Baron so quickly that if you've used all your blue trinkets, you really throw your slapping once and you're like, we can't wait on the next cooldown. We have to rush in. That was the case there. They get routed. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, chose the wrong brush. Probably go back. The practice for him, his homework, play some battleships.
Oh yeah.
Get better at choosing where the enemy destroyer is.
Never thought of it like that before.
You know, Suning Gaming are the type of person in battleships to place all of their pieces in a single part of the board.
That's true.
And you're playing it like, I can't hit. Where are they? Like,
by the way, if you ever play me in battleship, that's my strategy.
Well, put them all into the corner.
If you find one, I lose the game. Yeah. But it's gonna be pretty damn hard to find one.
I actually do the same, but then I put the destroyer in a completely random place. So you're like, I've got him. And you're like, wait, where's the last one?
You're a true Navy admiral.
Got him. And you make them all unmanned, you know? Can't do that in League of Legends, but it's still good training. Bottom side, you're going to get Shower taking a tower to himself. Be very easy. Siege Engine Gnar, Daredevil, if you will. Almost 300 farm on him. He's 3 items. He's a very big Gnar. He's actually a Gnar who's gone towards these tank items. And I was actually talking to Clement last game, and he was saying that over in the LMS, they were saying that it seems like generally the Gnars will go towards primarily split push builds. You know, the Wit's Ends, the Blade Rink, I don't know why I went Wits Ends first, but for those type of attack speed builds, because teams are very good at playing around Gnar when he goes into attack form and playing around his Rage Bar. So instead you get the value out of going for the mini Gnar. Now, I'm actually just looking at Suning Gaming, it's just two-manning Baron.
Hey, they're trying to play the quick and easy game, saying how that we have so many people mid lane that we're not doing Baron, you can't do it. JD is smart enough to recognize that they have a tank and a Yasuo, so that's going to be easily completed. Wait a minute, Swing's actually really fast.
He's very fast.
I was wondering if they could just route them. Unfortunately,
you got Saplings, but they have the inner track coming in here into the mid lane. They might be able to just take away this tower with no contest. Well, nope, not if Mao's got something to say about it, but he completely whiffed it. Here comes Xiao Ao, jumps into the front line, but he is getting chunked down. Back line locked up. Hacker turning on towards the Maokai, and Zoom is left to dry. Oh! The plant won't like that. Angel jumps on towards Yagao. He's going to go down, and the rest of JD are just crumbling within their own base. Loken backs off to his base, but Angel is hunting for him. 3 kills to Suning.
And at this point, Mao going down, it's just Loken on the field. No way for him to defend against the full 5 unit of Suning Gaming. It's been a long one of Suning just demolishing him in the red side jungle, but it's gonna, oh my god,
oh, please. He walks out of the base. Probably wrong time to do that one, buddy. That's going to be the clean ace as we find ourselves the first game going over to Suning.
Super clean after the picks were made down mid lane. That was the point of no return for JDG. Losing so much in successive plays, 2 members go down. Try and defend that tower. All happened within like a span of 1 minute.
It did.
Really close by. And it was just so much confidence on their end with the lead that they had that they thought they could do this. And so you see that spike in goal about, let me see, looks like about 15 minutes into it. I'll say 17 to be safe. All downhill for JDG. Start strong, and then they just fell flat. All of that gold going on towards probably the MVP, Fury.
And if you are new to the LPL and you're like, well, this is just a Suning win over I used to watch the e-commerce wars back in my day. I remember them. They were very even. It shouldn't be even, folks. JD are currently 12-2 and Suning Gaming is 7-7. This should not be happening for JD, but he just blasted them in game 1.
Yeah, I felt like we talked about the early game being super important for Suning Gaming. They didn't have it. They lost it.
Yeah,
that was a game where JD had great scaling, even bringing in the good old Maokai at the top lane, saying that he'll do fine. We'll win for you. And they did. They're actually doing incredibly well about 12 minutes into the game.
Yep.
You get to the point where, I mean, brains were lost. IQ, brain shut down. It was literally just people falling down so often.
Yep.
Time and again that Suning Gaming took advantage of that. Fury found his point of strength, and it was his hard day. It was a hard day.
Who came out on top?
I know what you're gonna do.
Suning Gaming came out on top. And you know who else came on top? It's also the Ahri. Ahri came out on top. Let's take a look at Ahri just getting a quadra kill.
That was good. Yeah, she got a lot of this, and even though I actually put a lot of focus on the Hacker, how he played it, yes, the biggest beneficiary was Fury, because Fury put out, and take a look at this, because he put out his full rotation on towards the Xayah, knows he's taking full damage from the tower, and waits long enough, tanking the tower coming back into it for his next rotation of spells. So I thought that Fury played incredibly efficient with that one fight.
He did. I mean, he got so much off the back of that one. Here you go. This is yours.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But he got so much off that. He basically got a full Banshee's Veil.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. And
you know what I'm going to do with this?
Wait, does that make noise?
Oh, apparently it does. But you know what I'm going to do with this?
What?
Get the camera on him. If you could. So it can... I don't need it anyways. Get this out of my face.
Apparently it's a weapon.
Yes, it is.
That's what I've learned today. Ahri turned into a weapon as well. And you know what? He will be our MVP.
I called it. Fury, as you can see in the back, this had such a great game for himself. Just based off the fact that the wards that they did have defensively, making full use out of it, ults through that one terrain, gets the charm off, flashes over to get the rise as well. So Fury, he took the L really early on in the laning phase. Couldn't have the damage to it, but of course, had the Yoon backing. Yoon played well this game. Went into these team fight settings when he was able to really output the damage that he had. strong in team fights, and that's what we want to see out of Fury.
Yeah, exactly. I think we said at the very start that you are looking towards the dual lane in the bottom side to really be the playmakers. We were talking more about the laning phase, but in the end, it actually turned out to be the team fights and how he reacted to the early game.
Yes.
Because he did not have a great laning phase. 0-2 to start, then he was 4-2-4, and then he just started murdering them in team fights. So really good to Suning actually taking the mid lane fight, playing really well. To be fair, JD were playing Lemmings, not League of Legends. They just walked in one by one and all died. So yes, but then it was how they capitalized off of that just to wipe them through the rest of the game.
100%. Definitely for Suning to go into the next series, that's scary because with the small windows they had, they make the best out of it. So now it's on JD going to the back and having a conversation with Coach Holm to say, look, do the same things, but be disciplined. And that's the one word that you have to see out of JD.
It's going to be a reverse sweep now for JD if they actually want to come back into this series. For now, though, we are going to take a short break. When we get back, we'll be coming in with game number 2.
สู้牛队员不会为遗憾找借口，必须变强，必须进步。